Artists structure the way they work to suit their personal preferences and lifestyle. There are endless approaches that they take to develop their concepts and skill sets. Let's explore a few concepts that will offer an effective workflow while you develop your artistic journey. During this presentation, we're going to discuss the concepts of theme, subject, and sustained investigation. This is just one approach to producing a meaningful body of artwork. We'll define theme as the artist's general message. The theme is a fundamental and often universal idea explored in a body of artwork. It is a quote-unquote big picture behind an artist's intent to convey a message. Subject is how identifiable objects within the picture plane interact in order to convey the artist's message. The subject describes a more specific aspect of the artist's theme. And finally, the sustained investigation is the collective product of an artist's work that are based on that particular theme. This body of work can contain a variety of subjects and can be created using a variety of media. This is known as a suite of works. Let's discuss these concepts using Picasso's work as an example. These works were created during Picasso's Blue Period, a term used to define the works that Picasso produced between 1901 and 1904. These works were created in a mostly monochromatic fashion using cool colors. The somber theme that was conveyed through these works describes the depression that Picasso was dealing with at the time following the death of a friend. The subjects include figures and settings that demonstrate a downtrodden mood. In contrast is Picasso's Rose Period. This is a term used to define the works that Picasso produced between 1904 and 1906. These works were created using mostly warm colors that contrasted those cool colors that he used during the Blue Period. The happier theme that was conveyed through these works marked the end of Picasso's depression and was sparked by a new relationship in his life. The subjects are also figurative, but they demonstrate a much happier mood. In the Blue Period, our theme is essentially depression. Picasso is trying to convey that feeling to the viewer that he is depressed, or share that downtrodden mood. The subjects, specifically figures and how they interact with the things in the picture plane, further convey that sense of being downtrodden or being depressed. And the collection of works in his Blue Period would be the sustained investigation. During the Rose Period, again, the theme is a much happier mood. The subjects are shown in the individual pieces. The figures are interacting in a much lighter fashion. And the sustained investigation are the works during the Rose Period. I'd like to further explore these terms by discussing some personal works. The theme for this suite is significant life events that shape my current reality. The subjects, from left to right, are physical pain from a beehive event, my educational journey, and overcoming painful experiences. My sustained investigation of these memories led me to a variety of media and approaches to creating this body of work. In the works on the screen, I included several consistent motifs. The figure in the foreground carries a backpack, denoting a youthful age. I hope to use this figure as an intermediary that would connect the viewer with the rest of the subject matter. In each middle ground, I designed a memory scene with a space defined by a cube. I intended to separate the figure from the scene using a cube as if it were a dreamlike image or a memory that triggers a specific emotion. The content of the cube is to describe a specific emotional aspect of that particular subject. This should be heightened by that transparent color added for emotional reaction to the narrative. Then I experimented with multimedia to produce products for my digital imagery. I printed the images and then fixed them to museum panel boards and added spray paint to further develop the use of color. I then 3D printed models for my digital scene to further engage the viewer and heighten my intended effect. I then continued my sustained investigation by creating a triptych of abstracted landscapes based on specific locations that lent to significant memories I had. Farm, field, and shoreline are all mixed media on canvas with acrylic and fabric. I then further expanded this theme with larger works that describe similar motifs in an ever more abstracted fashion. These are based on even more specific memories, but from my adulthood. These are all mixed media on canvas with burlap and fabric. Here's my suggested workflow for creating a suite based on your sustained investigation. First, choose a personal theme. It could be conflict and adversity, freedom and social change, role models, heroes, a personal identity, personal beliefs and values, etc. Then brainstorm designs. Sketch, write, discuss, visualize concepts for compositions that will convey the message of your theme. These may include recurring motifs and/or specific principles and elements of design. For your sustained investigation, continue to develop various aspects of your theme. Be more or less specific than your last design concept. Critique your body of work. What went well? What could be changed? What principles and elements worked and what didn't? And what could you change if you were to reproduce the work, etc.